let's get started on some good news. Once again, Ireland, Norway, and Spain recognize the Palestinian state. These are 3 states that I routinely give mentions to, with the exception of Spain, I guess. I'll just say it like this. Shouts out to all the HasanAbi adjacent states out there. You're doing the most. Welcome to the rest of the world, because as Ireland, Norway, and Spain recognize Palestinian statehood, we must remember that there is more than 140 nations that have already recognized Palestinian statehood. It's just that Ireland, Spain, and Norway are some of the first in Western Europe to recognize Palestinian statehood. You know, it's always the same map, huh? It is always the same map. It's literally everything is the same map. Now, the difference, however, is that that map is getting a little bit smaller for Western Europe. Ironic, because like this is literally, this map right here happens to be where 4/5 of the entire planet live. We are talking about near every single person. 4 people out of every 5, like 1 person, only 1/5 of the planet lives in the gray areas. The rest is just the rest of the planet. It is like an omega super majority. So it's wild to consider that like these guys are kind of running the game. They're running the show still, and they will, at least for the time being. But this is kind of what we talk about when we say the Western world, the sphere of Western influence. This is it. But it is odd. Unequal exchange only happens in one direction for most of this, for most of the nations on this. And yet, you know, the great countries kind of dominate the world. But it's good. It's good that things are changing. And they are very mad. Of course, Israel is so mad. Fuck Ireland, fuck Spain, fuck Norway, fuck Spain, fuck Ireland, fuck Norway. It's like, are we for real right now? Like, what's happening? Anyway, let's get to the way that BBC is covering it, and then we'll move on to the reactions of it.
Spain, Ireland...
And I'll also, of course, talk about what it means.
Spain, Ireland and Norway have announced that they'll formally recognise an independent Palestinian state. The Irish Prime Minister Simon Harris said that the children of Palestine and Israel deserved peace and that it was the right thing to do. While Irish Prime Minister Simon Harris explained his reasoning for the move. Let's have a listen.
Recognition is an act of powerful, political and symbolic value. It is an expression of our view that Palestine holds and should be able to vindicate the full rights of a state, including self-determination, self-governance, territorial integrity and security, as well as recognising Palestine's own obligations under international law. It is a message to those in Palestine who advocate and work for a future of peace and democracy that we fully respect your aspirations to be living freely, in control of your own affairs and under your own leadership.
The Irish Taoiseach there. Well, let's have a listen to what the Spanish Prime Minister had to say. Here's Pedro Sanchez.
We are going to recognise the state of Palestine for many reasons, which I can summarise in 3 words: peace, justice and logic. Peace, because this is the only solution to the conflict. And by that, I imply the essential...
I still don't understand why recognizing Palestine is such a bad thing by Western countries, because they're bad people. That's it. I don't know how else to describe it other than they want to do bad things to the Palestinians. And even a symbolic recognition of Palestinian statehood is seemingly breaking through that narrative that like, no, the Western world is actually unified under the common goal of doing bad things to the Palestinians. That's it. Remember the map I showed you. Okay, the world is already pretty much completely on board with Palestinian statehood, universally recognized damn near, with the exception of a couple countries. Those countries happen to be the most important countries, of course. Those countries also happen to be the countries that are doing the most to the Palestinians. You're always talking shit about America bad, but have you considered America good? I would love to consider America good. It's just that America rarely ever shows me anything good. If it did, I would tell you America good. I want America to be good. That's the whole point of my commentary. If America was good, then I could move on to play Batman Telltale all day, every day, and try to get a Sexo run going. But, you know, we're not there. Now, a lot of people immediately tune me out, because they say your opinion on the matter is tarnished by the fact that you are a campist, or you're a tanky, or you're an America hater, you're a Muslim Islamist fundamentalist piece of shit, anything ranging from, you know, you just don't like America. If you don't love it, leave it, all the way down to like, you know, uniquely weird takes, hyper specific takes, all of which gets it wrong. So for me, it is very frustrating to see America doing such egregious things, such awful things. But I'm glad that there are at least other Western countries, whether it is a consequence of elections coming up, whether it's for their own political machinations, have decided to take a stance against America's Western influence, America's influence on the West, America's hegemony, America's superpower status. Simon Harris is definitely doing this because the leftist Irish parties are predicted to win the upcoming local and European elections, and day one they would have done this. He's trying to get ahead of them. Again, good but political move. Yeah. Here's another wonderful American Civil Rights Movement organization, the ADL, weighing in on the decision. Shame on the governments of Norway, Ireland, and Spain for unilaterally recognizing a Palestinian state. This was always the wrong approach, but doing so in the wake of Hamas's genocidal massacre is a victory for those seeking Israel's violent destruction. It's just like, dude, you're an American civil rights organization. What are you talking about? Like, why does nobody go, that's weird that an American civil rights organization is chirping? Here, let's listen to the Irishman, okay?
There should be no further military incursion into Rafah. There should be no more Hamas or Hezbollah rockets fired at Israel. Civilians on all sides must be protected under international humanitarian law.
We will see a united Ireland in my lifetime. We will see a united Ireland in my lifetime.
Today's decision to recognise Palestine is taken to help create a peaceful future, because a two-state solution is the only way out of the generational cycles of violence, retaliation, resentment, hatred, where so many wrongs can never make a right. We believe that Palestinian statehood will contribute to peace and to reconciliation in the Middle East. We want to reaffirm our belief that peace is possible, that justice is achievable, and that the recognition of both states, Palestine and Israel, is the cornerstone on which that peace must be built.
For those of you who don't know, obviously the Irish Republicans who did liberate Ireland from British colonial occupation, okay, who fought long and hard during the Troubles, they've always felt very close to the Palestinian struggle for obvious reasons, for understandable reasons. The Irish have always been super based on the issue of Palestine in general, because England was the country that them over in the same way that it the Palestinians over. Let's listen to what the Israeli Foreign Ministry had to say.
The possibility of recognizing a Palestinian state risks turning you into a pawn in the hands of Iran and Hamas. Such a move...
Bro, this is literally just a threat. This is just a threat. They're saying like, you are starting to look very much like Hamas, and we will deal with the Hamas tunnels under Ireland as well.
Move will only strengthen Hamas and weaken an already dysfunctional Palestinian Authority. The fact that Hamas leaders are thanking you should serve as a wake-up call. Your actions will only fuel extremism and instability. Progress can only be achieved through direct negotiations within a wider regional context. Don't be pawns in the hands of Hamas. Say no to recognition.
That's great, man. Thank you. The only ones who would cause more instability following a recognition of Palestinian state are you. Mind your own business. Foreign Minister said Israel will not let this go. Katz recalls envoys from Norway, Ireland over Palestinian state recognition. Israel will not let this go quietly. Oh no. Oh no. They're isolating themselves further diplomatically from the Western world. Oh no. What will everybody do? Bro, no. I don't understand it. What will anybody do without Israel? What will anybody do without Israeli cooperation? No more ways for you. Say bye-bye to Waze and the shittiest techno music you have ever heard. No more Soda Stream. It's like without incredibly invasive surveillance technology and like weapons, some weapons, what the fuck is Israel good for? What the fuck has Israel done? Soda Stream, dude? Bubbly water? Is that it? Israel only knows one speed, bro. Just killing children. That's it. That's like the best thing that Israel is good at. The number one thing that Israel is good at is just like killing children and then training our cops in the United States of America. Look no further than how gross Sabra hummus is, which I was automatically doing a BDS before I even knew the existence of BDS because of how dog shit it was. It literally doesn't taste like chickpeas. I don't know how they did that. I do not understand how Sabra hummus was able to literally take hummus which is like pretty similar in taste, no matter what. Like, obviously it depends on like what kind of spices you put in it, how you spice it up, how you season it. But it blows my mind. It just doesn't taste like hummus at all. Literally all ADHD medication. Teva is one of the largest pharmaceutical manufacturers in the world. Also, all amoxicillin is made in Israel, if I recall correctly. Also, like a ton of computer chips. Well, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Let's be real. If they were to try to actually legitimately stop trading with the world, it would be unironically worse for Israel overall. That's my point. Israel has no way to pressure people. It doesn't. It is a settler colonial state that was literally designed by the Western world and has only been able to be as violent as it wants to as a consequence of the Western world. Without the Western world and its unconditional support, Israel is nothing. It doesn't exist. It is fake, okay? Isn't real. You might as well call it. That's it. And this is something that I've tried to stress to people over and over again since October 7. And many people have even chirped at me and said that I'm wrong. Like, oh, America comprises only 5% of Israel's like overall weapons or whatever. Dude, literally, America can shut Israel down tomorrow without ever even firing a single fucking bullet, mind you. It could. If the United States chose to do so, tomorrow Israel was real. Okay, it could. I mean, we'll never do it, but that is the reality. Think about it. Israel needs our unconditional support. Israel needs our political cover. Israel needs our steady trade, more so than many other countries. It's not just the military support that we offer, even though we offer plenty of that as well. And it's baby-killing endeavors and its ceaseless bloodthirst. America always has weapons. It's extremely funny to see the video mention Hamas leaders thanking them as something bad because most countries don't consider Hamas to be a terror organization. My country doesn't. Almost the same map as recognition of Palestine, but inverse. Yeah, that's the other part of the process as well. But yeah, Foreign Minister Israel Katz recalls the Israeli ambassadors in Ireland, Norway for immediate consultations. Oslo announced it will recognize the Palestinian state, and with Dublin expected to make a similar decision. I'm sending an unequivocal message to Ireland and Norway. Israel will not let this go quietly. Ireland and Norway intend to send a message to Palestinians and the entire world. Terror pays, says Katz in a statement. Can I just also do another I told you so moment? Remember when I said that if Israel continues to be this like violent psychopathic entity that is like hyper focused on bloodshed, and I said this basically on October 8th, that it is going to dismantle America's influence over the world. Our undying loyalty, our fealty to the state of Israel and its endless bloodshed is going to basically dismantle American power status, is basically going to show the world that we have no smoke. We cannot control our own attack dog. The fact that the ICC is applying to send arrest warrants to the Israeli head of state and the defense minister is proof of that. The fact that now you have Western nations, okay, not Eastern Bloc nations in 1988, not the one-off with Sweden, but actual Western nations like Spain, Norway, Ireland coming out and being like, no, we recognize Palestinian statehood too. This is why I always state it opens up new pressure points. It's massively important. America is an incredibly powerful country. We have our tentacles all around the globe. We have 800 or at least 400 official military bases all around the world. We have NATO, which is a protection racket. We have the SWIFT financial process that controls 80% of every transaction that occurs globally. It's all run on the dollar. It is very, very, very difficult to dismantle. Obviously, virtually impossible to dismantle, as a matter of fact. When America says, no, we are going to let Israel go crazy mode, it's really, really hard to push back against that. But due to how resilient both the Palestinians have been and also the pro-Palestinian protesters have been, the pressure is getting to a boiling point. It's impossible to avoid. It's impossible to not recognize. And it is genuinely causing fear in the hearts of many in the American leadership who absolutely will have a very difficult choice to make. How many more AIPAC dollars do I want versus completely losing America's grip on the entire globe and its affairs? And you can tell that people are terrified of it. Especially the Israeli officials. I mean, look, Benjamin Netanyahu tweeted this out. The intention of several European countries to recognize a Palestinian state is a reward for terrorism. 80% of the Palestinians in Judea and Samaria support the terrible massacre of October 7. This evil cannot be given a state. This would be a terrorist state. It will try to repeat the massacre of October 7 again and again. We will not consent to this. Rewarding terrorism will will not bring peace, and neither will it stop us from defeating Hamas. You make Bibi sound like Bernie? Bibi literally has a Philadelphia accent. Don't even give me that shit. That's what he sounds like. Yes, Benjamin Netanyahu is from Philadelphia. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Many Philadelphia boys out here, many Pennsylvania defenders will lie to you and act like he did not grow up and have most of his formative experiences in Philadelphia. He did. You cannot erase that stain, Philadelphia. Just to be clear, that logic doesn't even work on the Irish. I'm literally only a citizen of the UK because of terrorism. Just something to consider about when you hear all of the pro-Israel defenders chirping on the timeline. What? Biden officials shocked that Hamas is recruiting people as Israel bombs their family members. Biden officials have become increasingly concerned that Hamas has been able to recruit during wartime, thousands over the last several months, allowing the group to withstand most of Israeli offensives. How did that work, man? That's crazy. I can't believe it. I can't believe that people, when they become orphaned, when their homes are blown up, they go, I am going to do everything in my power to physically fight back against these people that are destroying my life. That's so weird. How did that work, bro? That's so weird. I am so shocked. I thought people loved getting killed. Rep Randy Fine says, in Florida, if you support Muslim terror, you will be treated like a Muslim terrorist. Next session, I will introduce legislation that adds any country that recognizes Palestine in Florida's list of scrutinized countries, with severe limitations on entities from those countries doing business with and in Florida. Spain, Ireland, Norway will join Iran, North Korea, Cuba, and Syria, among others on that list. Govern yourselves accordingly. That's so funny. Hey, have fun with that, okay? Yeah, that's like 75% of the whole world, dude. Including 3 of your top 5 trading partners. Florida depends on world markets. They're so stupid. They're so dumb. These people are so stupid. Yeah, good luck, dude. By the way, there is nothing funnier, to me at least, the way I see it. There's nothing funnier than being like, we're no longer doing business with Ireland. Excuse me, are you familiar with the existence of Ireland? For all of the based politics that Ireland demonstrates when it comes to global affairs, it also happens to be the primary tax shelter for every American mega corporation. What the fuck are you talking about? It's literally a tax haven. Yeah, okay, good luck, dude. I love that. Yeah, bring all those assets back home, baby. Let's go.